Late Night Health continues. Our guest is Dave Foreman. We're joined in studio by Joshua Lane, the host of Here's to Your Health Radio that airs locally in L.A. and also on our one of our flagship stations in Lake Tahoe. And that station is
KTHO AM and FM.
And that is, I wanted to say that because Daryl's the owner of the station. So, anyway, Josh, thanks for joining us. You've been listening in. Jump in as you have on our show before.
Sure.
Okay, and let us know, your opinion. Dave Foreman, the Herbal Pharmacist. Let's continue talking. You just gave us a tip about a carb blocker, and again, the name of that carb blocker is.
It's Phase, Phase, and the number 2. It comes from white kidney beans, and there's been numerous clinical trials on it, showing that it can block up to 65% of carbs, and it's helped with weight loss. And the longer you take it, it can help with some cravings that people have. For me, it's just the easier way to reduce the calorie effect from starchy foods.
If you have to eat those. You don't eat those at all, Josh.
What, potatoes?
No, starchy foods.
Well, I eat baked potatoes, organic. I eat sweet potatoes, baked squash. I find as I get older, I used to eat a lot of brown rice because I've always was gluten intolerant, I felt. So I avoided wheat, rye, oats, corn, and barley. But now, as a little bit of an older fellow, when I eat brown rice, which I enjoy, organic, I still get dry skin, which tells me that I don't do that good on grain, and the movement in my profession has been away from grain for the past really 25, 30 years. And I always agreed with them, and I find even rice, which I love, or millet, I also love, both are gluten-free, I don't do that good on them, so I try not to use them very often.
Interesting.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Have you done quinoa yet?
Oh, I enjoy quinoa. I seem to do pretty well on quinoa. I do enjoy quinoa. It's another, gluten-free product.
Right.
I do great on baked potato. I only organic because conventional potatoes are heavily sprayed. And I actually feel that baked potato is a good food, but of course not by itself because it will not sustain your blood sugar. But say baked potato with a piece of salmon, baked potato with a couple of soft-boiled eggs. I like baked potato, and I'm not on an anti-baked potato bandwagon,
Well, I can't say. I mean, I again, for me, it's everything in moderation, and so that's why when Mark was asking me earlier about, what's my feeling about them, I feel like they get overconsumed, and it ends up being a staple in the diet.
Well, it's cheap, and it's cheap. We tend to fry the things, and that's not healthy.
Or we Darylize them and put, right?
I think he wins.
Well,
I think I created a new word there. Darylize.
yeah. Well, when you go to a restaurant and they say, "Would you like sour cream, butter, chives, bacon?" You say yes.
Right.
Yeah, you do.
Well, it's kind of like going to In-N-Out and saying, "I want it animal style," right? It's just sterilized.
Yeah, exactly. In-N-Out is a hamburger chain, primarily here in California. They've spread to Nevada and Oregon, lower Oregon, and it's a great hamburger. And you can order
right.
it a number of different ways. But they are the only local chain that I know of that actually has fresh potatoes, and they don't use frozen.
Yeah, they hand cut them, man. I've seen it. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. And I didn't mean to get into promotional of one company over another. I have friends that live on the East Coast that when they've been on the West Coast have had the opportunity. So that's why I kind of threw it in there.
No, it's true. It's a great burger on occasion when you're looking for that. But we tend to fry this stuff, and
Yep.
And let's move a little bit into fats and carbs. Which are worse for us, Dave, in your opinion?
The starchy carbs are the worst. I'm a big fan of fats. I'm curious what Josh's comment is going to be on this because, I encourage people to eat more fat. If you eat more, especially the healthier fats, that are from things like nuts and seeds or avocados. I mean, there's some really good fats in nature, and I think we we get freaked out about fats and that they'll make you fat. And actually, we're learning now that even the fats that freaked us out, like fats from dairy, fats from eggs, aren't bad for us, and if anything, can help in some cases reduce the risk of heart disease and lower your own body fat count, because your body will burn its own fat when you have the right amount of good fats in your diet. So I'd rather have people eat good fats than eat starches any day.
And what about, but not animal fat? Or
the animal fats can be evil. I at least that's what we're hearing now. I got to say though, Mark, the more and more I look at the reverse of science, how we're learning more about the body on a daily basis. I'm anxious to see if in the next 5 to 10 years they tell us that was a bunch of garbage too, because in reality we were designed to consume those things, and I don't think that we were, although we were instructed not to eat the fat of an animal back in the day,
Right.
So, but I think everything in moderation. For me, I trim everything up. If I eat a chicken, I skin it before I cook it. I only buy lean cuts of meat. At my house, we eat mostly fish anyway, and beef. Like I said, it's lean. Pork, same thing, very lean. So yeah, I think that right now, I think that saturated fats from animals are probably bad.
And you agree with that, Josh? I'm turning to look at you now.
Well, actually, I think that it depends on the quality of the saturated fat from animals. If you're eating organically grown chicken, if you're eating a turkey, if you're eating salmon, I think those are great choices. I think the bad choices are hydrogenated vegetable oil. Heavy deep frying is obviously undesirable health-wise. It might be fun taste-wise, but it's really a bad idea. So I'm not opposed to eating animal fats, and I think we humans, we're fish eaters. We do very well in eating fish, I think, so I'm not vegetarian. And animal fats, chicken, turkey, lamb, great choices. Beef, maybe once in a while for laughs. Pork once in a while for laughs, if you really need to. You don't need to eat those. And I think you'd probably live to be 125 eating just eggs and fish.
As long as I know who I am, I want to live that long.
No.
Our guest, Dave Foreman, the Herbal Pharmacist, and Josh Lane from Here's to Your Health. By the way, the talking about deep frying, what about deep frying in something like avocado oil? Now, it's very expensive. I don't know how cost efficient that would be. Would that make a difference, Josh? I'll ask you first.
Deep frying, it's fun, but it turns out to be a bad idea. It changes the molecules. So, when I use olive oil, which is the only thing I really use, I just sprinkle it if I'm going to saute vegetables. That's it. At the very end, I put in some oil. Or if I'm going to put a salad, I put it right in a salad. And I think oil is very concentrated, and I think people should use it in tiny quantities. But as far as deep frying, I think it turns out to be an error health-wise.
Gotcha. And what do you think, Dave? Something like avocado oil.
Anytime we really heat up an oil, like Josh says, we change it. We change the chemical structure of it, and to me, it becomes, the healthy oils become less healthy. Are they, and I'm not into deep frying anything. Those oils, like coconut oil is a big thing right now. They're avocado oil. Those oils are designed to be used at mid-temperature, not for frying, because that's a high temperature. And like Josh said, if you're looking for the health benefits of those oils, they really need to be applied after your food is cooked, not during the cooking process. Yeah, they're healthier to use while cooking, but then the vegetable oil garbage, processed, refined stuff that's out there nowadays. So they are better, but I don't think anything should be really fried anyway.
I'm not a big fry person myself. It's just not something that I 100% enjoy. Daryl and I were involved in a project, I think last year, and we learned about the study. I think it was done in the late 60s that talked about low fat was good, and they did, and it created a cottage industry that's worth billions of dollars in low-fat foods.
Right.
So what you're both saying is that we need to eat some fats.
Right. Yeah, that cottage industry actually was just a major blockbuster industry, and the science was terrible on it, but they got away with it in those days, and now they don't so much anymore. Now people realize that we do well on animal fats of good quality, And margarine is really very popular. It was popular in the 50s, early 60s, but it's not a good choice. We want to eat foods that is not processed. And that's not philosophical, it's practical.
Did you try the butter yet?
Yeah, it was quite good.
Wasn't it? We just had a guest on from Finlandia butter and cheese. And
oh, that's the best, man. Oh.
It was great.
Now, and I said I was hungry earlier, and you're going to go say that again? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really good stuff. And I'm not and they sent us salted butter, and I'm normally a sweet butter person, but this was really, really good. And then I just had some olive oil that I think is some of the best that I've ever had. At a restaurant. They actually make it themselves in Italy. It's organic, and it's olive and lemon. It's olive and lemon, and it's just really terrific, great tasting. You can actually see the nutrients flow into your body from it.
No, not really.
Not really. It was really good stuff.
Here's a disclaimer. You're not really.
Not really. No, yeah, thank you. You're absolutely correct, Daryl. But it was so good that I have to go back and buy some. It's just it was really it would make such a great salad, or just dipping in something. With fats and taking a look at fats and carbs, how do we keep that balance, Dave?
Oh, that's the magic question, I guess. Again, I want to stress the point of not all carbs are bad. So, if you're, eating veggies and nuts and seeds, I don't even worry about it, the carbs in those whatsoever. And it's kind of interesting. A great way to, another philosophy on starchy foods is to slow them down. People call it slow carbs, or slowing them down. And the way you do that is, if you're going to have one of those refined processed foods, other than taking a supplement, another way to kind of slow that carb down, make it have less of an impact on your blood sugar, is to add a good source of fat to it, or a protein. So, like at my house, my daughter in the morning has avocado toast.
Ooh, that sounds good.
She'll make like a whole grain toast, and then she cuts up an avocado and uses that as her quote butter. She doesn't like cream cheese, so but that's what she does, is avocado toast, and I will let her eat that all day long. Well, I can't say all day long, but I don't have a problem with it.
Hey, Dave, as always, I appreciate you. Look forward to having you in studio with us soon. We'll talk again. Josh, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks.
I appreciate it. All right, coming up next, we have Robert Clancy, the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul, and we're going to be talking about poor attitude and how it affects our health. More coming up on Late Night Health. Don't go away.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment.